Good evening. Good evening. We decided to give you guys a special treat this evening. Okay. You have two hosts from two different podcasts coming together, not only because we dope as hell, but we are very much like minded. And why not come together and have transparency, a time to heal and share and all that good stuff? So, Marilyn Monroe, would you like to go ahead and introduce yourself?
Certainly, I am Marilyn Monroe with the Culture Club Combo. We are located on YouTube, TikTok, Instagram, and now on Facebook. Yes, Culture Club Combo.
Okay. Well, this gonna be a juicy one today. we we don't know doing no hold bars, nothing.
Not
Even if questions come up in the comments, it's full transparency. I'm not trying to get it put on Facebook. 1 second.
okay.
When I tell you it wants to play today. Now I
Yes.
ain't called not one time since we've been on this daggone thing.
Oh
And
my.
ain't that crazy? Just dumb. Okay. All right, so let's what you want to talk about first? What we want to dive into first?
So, Shay Young, the realtor, and I wanted to get together because we think it's necessary for the culture, our culture, and everyone to start, being able to be transparent because transparency, honesty, and everything really does help with healing. Um, in addition to other things of healing, like professional other things. And I think for the longest, I've always wanted to be transparent on my personal information, on my personal stuff. But again, I'm new to social media. And two, I was kind of in the woods of things. Like I was going through a lot of things with my divorce, separation first, and divorce. Um, I never shared that. And I'm going to be honest with you, when you are able to be transparent, that is definitely healing.
Mm-hmm.
In
Mm-hmm.
addition to only the brave can be transparent. You have to be brave. Um, my transparency does not involve or will it involve bashing or hurting anyone intentionally in an ill way of hurting them. It's just my truth. It's raw. It's uncensored.
Period.
My truth.
Right, and that's where I said like minded. When I said at the beginning, we are very much like minded because I feel like the reason I try to be very transparent. I ain't going if I don't want to share certain things, I just won't.
Right.
But not because I'm hiding it. It just may involve people that I don't want to pull into the
That's right.
story. However, I've always been very transparent because one, I don't want you ever be able to use something against me. That's one. When my millions continue to flow in and I'm on somebody's big screen, I don't want you in nobody's YouTube interview talking
Girl,
about secrets that the world don't know. I promise you the world
they will
knows.
do
Okay?
it.
And if they don't know, they're gonna know tonight. You're not gonna be able to use nothing. I'm big on
Not
that.
me. Not
And I
me.
get to sleep better at night knowing that I'm good. I'm
That's
good.
right. That's
Yeah.
right. Yeah, because
Yeah.
when the past start calling, you're like, oh, that's not even me anymore.
Yeah. Yeah.
And you can't bring anything up that I haven't either shared because I wanted to be transparent and wanted to be able to help someone else that
Yeah.
possibly is not as brave yet,
Right.
or doesn't feel like they can have anyone that understands them. Because when you're going through, I promise you, even though we know better and we know that so many other people have been there, done that, wrote the book, you seem like you feel like you're by yourself.
Hmm.
And you feel like you're just like, oh my God, like I'm gonna be stoned tonight.
Yeah. Yeah.
So yeah, like absolutely, it's good to free yourself because
Mhm.
yes, people will definitely take the moment and create because they create their own narratives.
Uh-huh. Always.
They'll know 1% about you, but then make up the rest of 99 other percent about you. It's
Yep.
because they either want you to react to the lies. But I personally get a kick out of the lies because then I know you can't be trusted. everything you say is 99% a lie.
Mm-hmm.
Even if you wanted to tell me some valuable information that you thought I should know, by you already creating this person of lies, I don't believe you.
Yep.
So,
Yep. Yep.
yeah.
And you also hit something that made me I the being stoned when I decided I wanted to be in my truth and be the lesbian that I believed I always was.
Mm-hmm.
I just had some trauma that I had to deal with because of my mom, my relationship with my mom when I was a kid. But that was probably the most freeing thing in my life. Being able to I wrote a post, I did, and just saying that I was walking in my truth and so forth and so on.
Mm-hmm.
Did people get hurt in the midst of that? Absolutely. But I was so afraid of the friends I possibly could lose. My
Mm-hmm.
church family at that time telling me like this is not the life. This is not the life you're supposed to have. This is not what God wants you to have. That stuff plays on you when you are raised off the fear of God and not the love of God.
Yes.
So it played a huge role
Yeah.
in even my now wife being hurt because as much as I wanted to be with her, it was that fear of okay, if I really step into this, like I'm gonna be shunned. Life is gonna change. The life that I know is going to change. The circle that I know is going to change. And I mean, it did. I mean, literally, I mean, just hanging around openly, um, the LGBT community openly in a total different world literally started changing my whole entire life. And it was definitely, it wasn't, I ain't gonna say it was completely lonely, but it had lonely moments because I did lose quite a few people.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I agree. Like, okay, so let's get into it.
Hmm.
All right.
All
So
right.
I guess you and I connected before we already connected when
Right.
I post a quote from your um, 21 Questions Couple Edition. I created a quote that I post to social media,
Hmm.
and this is the quote, and it said from you on that podcast. It said, "I love a good gift, but I don't care about the house. I don't care about the car. I don't care about the money if you are not speaking to my heart."
Hmm.
When it like hit my spirit one day, like, well, it hit my spirit when you said it, but then it hit my spirit one day, and I was like, okay, I'm gonna go on to Canva and I'm
Hmm.
gonna create this quote because that for me, that is so true. Um, so if you're just tuning in and you don't know who I am, I'm Marilyn Monroe with the Culture Club Combo. And just past about 3.5 weeks ago, I divorced my ex-husband of 16 years, married 18 years together. And everybody was shocked,
Hmm.
like completely shocked that I divorced him or we separated even. They were shocked. I mean, from my parents to my children to friends to family, they were completely shocked because I always, felt like my marriage was my business, and I didn't, necessarily feel like I had to share that struggle of me not wanting to be married to him anymore.
Hmm.
And, because people will try to convince you a bunch of different things. However,
Yeah.
those are the same people that are miserable. Most of the time, they're just miserable, have no clue about a marriage, a relationship, or how to pay a bill. So I just did not want people to interfere with the feeling that I've had for a long time. I didn't go to sleep and wake up the next day and say, you know what, I'm tired of being with my husband. So, mentally, I was in that space. And, I had left my husband years before I physically left him. I left him, and
Hmm.
he knew. And I
Right.
even verbalized, like, I'm going to find me an apartment one day because I'm out. And,
Hmm.
of course, it took a lot of shifting of my family, even my children, to prepare them in a subliminal way that I was going to roll.
Yeah.
And in that process, Shay, in that process, I started this position, overseeing this business. And as I was overseeing this business, and this is an exclusive, overseeing this business, I had started this position along with this other employee. Same day we started. And I've never in my life ever like cheated on my husband, thought about it. Like, even though I knew I didn't want to kind of be with him for the rest of my life, I just never felt the need to do that, the infidelity. Started this position, and this other employee started the same day. We worked together, we worked close together. It's my position at this job to be in tune with my employees. And for probably like the first 3 months, I started kind of zoning in on him because he required a bunch of different things. He needed to
Yeah.
leave early. He just seemed like always kind of like just a lot was going on in his life. And I just
Right.
thought it's strange. And it's our job as bosses to always try to provide your employees with like resources and things that they may need in order for them to, function and be great in their position,
Right.
whether they're being abused, substance abuse, whatever it is. We as bosses have to be in tune with our employees.
Right.
And for the longest time, I thought he was possibly being abused in a way of like, domestic wise, like it was, just a hardship. And I realized that we just had a lot in common.
Hmm.
And without telling the full story, our hearts spoke to each other.
Yeah. Yeah.
And trust me, I never found a need to connect with anyone outside my husband, let alone someone that I'm writing a check for or
Right.
trying for a proven time for.
Right.
And that's how that happened. And so a lot of people, I think even before people even knew, I beat myself up about it so much. Because like you said, people will stone you and people would
Hmm.
say, oh, biblically that's not right. And, just because that's how I grew up in the church.
Hmm.
And, I knew I had a husband, and at the time he had, a wife.
Yeah.
And, it was a lot, but he and I were in the same position. We had left our spouses mentally a long time ago.
Yeah.
So here we are 2 years later,
Hmm.
and
And
we're still
I bet you're happier.
very
Not
much.
not because of the new situation, but the fact that you were able to do something to free yourself. Because that's what it's about. You should never have to stay with anybody just because you're married. Like, you have so many people that will stick by their man, right? The song "Stick by My," whatever.
Stand by
Yes, yes, yes.
your
You will stand by these people in marriage, in a commitment, in unity, and you absolutely are miserable. Why? You get one life, right?
yes, yes,
One freaking try at this thing. You don't get to leave the earth tomorrow, and come back the next day and be like, "Let me try it again."
yes,
It just does not happen that way. And I am big on, baby. I'll start over quick, okay? I am big on you have to make sure that you're happy first.
yes,
Also, why would you want to be in something that you're not happy, regardless of what the reason is? Because people grow apart. You could be great for years. You could be great as friends. Both of my ex-husbands, we are great as friends. We are great as parents. We were not great as a couple.
yes.
Because one, I had my own stuff I needed to work on, and I had to go through my own healing and make my own decisions on actually doing something different.
Mhm.
um I wouldn't have been able to complete nothing in them. And if they weren't complete, then you really, really empty, because I don't have nothing really to give you besides saying I love you, and I got you, right? I got your back. Ain't nobody gonna do nothing to you. I got your back. But at the same time, I'm the one that's doing something to you, because I really ain't got your back.
Yes.
Like, I got your back where nobody else can hurt you, but I'm the one that's actually probably gonna hurt you.
So
And I
let's
feel
talk about. I remember you mentioned several podcasts before about like cheaters, and
like,
like you said you were very, again, transparent moment,
hmm
transparent talk. You said like you were the cheater.
hmm hmm
So
absolutely.
like, and again, I was at one point as well. Like, how did you feel? Like, what do you recall your first time cheating?
Mhm. I do. I do. So with my first ex-husband, I already had this mindset of, I'm gonna get you before you get me. I
Mm.
never felt like anything that was going great would ever last for real. I felt like it was a temporary thing. I felt like I'm gonna get my head into the game and they're gonna push me on the sidelines. Like I'm not gonna be able to do my 3 pointers all the time, right?
Right.
So that means I had to get you before you get me. So as soon as it started getting real, real good, I was self-sabotaging. And my first time was little stuff used to bother me. Like I'm big on time. I've always been really big on time. Like I like quality time. That is huge to me. It's way more important than gifts. It is way more important than you telling me I love you.
Yeah.
Quality time is huge. And we were young. We got married at I was what, 20. I just turned 22. And I
Mm.
think he had just was ready to turn 20, 21.
Yeah, you were
So
young.
we were still, and we had kids, right? So we already had two. I already had a kid prior to him, and then we had a kid together, and I was pregnant with another child. So we literally went from high school to parents while we were in high school to now married, trying to be adults. Ain't neither one of us healed over the stuff that we've been through. Didn't know nothing about healing. And then as soon as I felt like I was lonely, okay, well, I gotta go find something to make me not lonely. And at that time, I didn't know that I was uh it's called, I can't remember the full name, but it's like you becoming depressed, but then that depression turns into like bipolar. So my way of dealing with depression, which was mine, it wasn't nothing that they did, was I'm going to find somebody to
To give you
get
that.
that off my mind. Yeah,
Yeah.
get that off my mind. Never did I want any of the people. Like never were they for replacements ever. It was just to satisfy that lost feeling or that feeling of that I'm still not getting what I need. Now, and I'm telling you, both of them are great. Okay. I mean, like excellent freaking men. But it still was, I wasn't being who I knew I was supposed to be. We got married. My first marriage, we got married because everybody was like, well, y'all keep having kids, you might as well get married. So we did, right?
Yeah.
Brought a
Yeah.
house, we had the cars, had a nice life. But I don't think neither one of us was for real. Like we're in our 20s. You should not get married in your 20s. I'm so against that.
I agree.
You should not. It's so much more life you have to experience. You don't even know what you want yet. You have no clue what's out here in 20s.
I
Like
agree.
go to college, play around, do some stuff, like
I agree.
explore, travel, and then decide, what you want to do. So my first time was definitely because I felt like I was lonely. He wanted to play the game all the time and his friends over because you're in your 20s.
Yeah.
What do you do in your 20s? You play the game,
Yeah.
you digress, you
Yeah.
got kids, you got to escape. And I didn't understand that because I've been a mom since 14, well, 15. So
Mm.
I'm like, no, I still need my time. I've never had quality time from anybody. I mean, even family. So and to this day, that's big for me. Like, I need quality time. I'm just not going to cheat on you if you don't know how to give it to me.
Right.
Right.
That's true. So you remember that first time that
Hmm.
you decided
Yep.
and
And it was
you
with an ex. That's the crazy part. It was with an ex I knew I didn't want.
so your cheating that first time was very premeditated.
Uh-huh. Every single time. Like, okay, so like for you, you said like you have never ever thought about it, right?
Wow.
And for you, what was it that made you be like, what was it? I mean, you kind of tapped into it, so I don't want you to have to repeat yourself.
Yeah.
But with you realizing that now feelings are growing for this person,
Hmm.
and you know that you're married, you know their situation. What was it that was like, fuck all that?
It wasn't like I don't think I could. It was so emotionally hard. It was very hard. It was professionally hard. It was emotionally hard. It was spiritually hard. Like it was
Yeah.
so hard. And the crazy part about it is though like the people that live with me, my children and
Mhm.
my ex, they noticed the shift. Hey, they noticed a shift in me. They
Mhm.
noticed that I was in love, or I became in like initially of someone outside of the home. they could tell of like my spirit was different.
Mhm.
I was more happy. I remember my now boyfriend used to always say, "Don't go home happy. Don't go home being happy. Act like you had a tough day. Act like it was this, you know." And it was just it was. I guess I never said fuck it until um probably like a year in.
Yeah.
And even through that process, I'm being super honest and transparent. We have done 30-day resets, or let's not talk for, you know, let's just, you know, hey, let's, you know, take a break and not talk to each other. Let's meet, let's loop around again 4 years from now, because our youngest child both were 14, 13,
Mhm.
14. So we wanted to provide our families the full us,
Yeah.
so that we could, you know, not cause a disruption in what we were supposed to do or what was expected of us. You know, he and his marriage, and me and my marriage. So
Yeah.
we purposely was like, if this was meant to be, if we circle back in 4 years, it will be just like it is.
Yeah.
So I never actually, up until like a year in, said fuck it. I just never did it. It was just like I beat myself up.
Mhm.
I became mean. Like I would
Mhm.
shut the door in his face, leave me alone, don't talk to me. You know,
Mhm.
that type of thing. I was really fighting it, and that's
Yeah.
made it, you know, emotionally hard. So
Yeah. And I feel like it makes it the guilt part of it all. I'm sorry, hold on. What are you doing? No, I'll check after the podcast. Bye bye. Go upstairs. And we try anything and everything, okay? Um
I'll cook you a pizza.
we're on the
Daddy
podcast,
said
so we
cook,
need
cook.
to wait. Thank you. What was I say? The guilt of it will literally make you a different person
Yes,
because you feel bad for
yes,
what you're doing to the person, but then you also have this anger because you're not able to go and get exactly what you know you deserve and want because
yes.
of whatever scenarios, right?
Actually, mine was anger because you couldn't be who I wanted you to be. So
That
then I was
resentment,
offended.
yeah, baby, yeah. Now let me tell you some stuff that ain't nobody ever heard. Well, my second ex-husband started dating other people and I started seeing a difference in him. Baby, when I tell you I used to get pissed off sometimes, now it ain't last long. But I would get pissed off because I'm like, even though I know 1000%, we would not have been together today. I know this.
Right.
I know we would not have because he wasn't a woman. I wanted a woman. So I know that. But it still was that point of Negro. Where was this? Like,
Yeah.
where was the quality time? It would have gave us a little probably a longer span. I ain't gonna lie. It would have probably gave us a longer span because that's what I wanted. I remember the day I was pregnant with their son and I wanted him to stay home. And I don't even think I wanted to, I just wanted him to stay home. Like I needed to see that he would sacrifice that. And they had the place called Whiskey. It was a club on West Street in Annapolis. And he used to
Yes.
DJ there, right? Between the bands and stuff sometimes. And I remember him saying, I remember me asking him when he stay home, and he was like, no, I gotta go down here and play. Now, by that time, I think he had mentally checked out. So, you know, I don't blame him now. But that day, I remember being like, this is definitely not my life because you're choosing $75 because that's what it was that day. I remember you're choosing $75, and you already know I am halfway out the door. Like only thing left is a shoelace at this point, okay? Because I ain't tied a shoe yet.
Yes.
So you literally $75. When I tell you that gave me, it was like yeah. If I wasn't show, it made a show
Yeah.
because here I am. I got somebody that at that time it was Joy, of course, but oh, she was willing to, like, time was nothing. And I mean, she didn't have much of it. So time was nothing for her to give me. She would go to work, and as long as I've known her, she's had 2 to 4 jobs, okay? And
Hmm.
still will find time, even if it was just us watching a show, even if it was just us going grab something to eat. Um, Now, once we got married, now life started life and it'd be a little different, right? But it still was the fact that it wasn't hard for her to give it. But
Hmm.
I also remember because it wasn't who I wanted it from, it didn't even matter as much.
Yeah.
Like I took it for granted. The time I actually wanted, she could give me, but it wasn't coming from the person that I was begging for it from.
Right. Right. Like, dude, you had a whole head start. Like
A
this
whole head
person,
start.
you had a whole head start
Hmm.
from this person, this other person. And yes, 15 jobs.
15.
15.
Hmm.
14, 15.
Uh-huh.
Um, but yeah, it's yeah, it's hurtful. Um, to even be, living like a double life even.
Yeah.
Um, and the crazy part about it is for me, mine started as a total friendship,
Hmm.
very much friendship.
Yep.
Like
Yep.
we're just friends. We're making making our lives a separate life from everyone else. However,
Yeah.
we're just really it's innocent in a sense
Hmm.
of no sexual anything. It was
Hmm.
just us talking for hours. We would talk for hours about like how similar our lives were,
Yeah.
how similar our marriages were in a sense.
Hmm.
And and yeah, it was definitely I had a lot of anger to my ex as like
Yeah.
how why can't you be the way I needed you to be so that this
Hmm.
man wouldn't even exist?
Yep. Yep.
Or, I wouldn't need to talk to him.
Yeah.
So speculations and things have been put out on social media of, I guess it's being like lustful with myself and my now boyfriend.
Mhm.
It wasn't like
Yeah.
the beginning, we didn't even like each other in the beginning. We just really, it was like, dude, get the hell out of my face.
Yeah.
And we just became friends, like, and so we were very much similar. Hey, what's up? Who's that? Hey, what's up, KWU? We were just very similar in the way we were brought up in our family life. And we
Hmm.
just found a connection there. And
Yeah.
we became really good best friends, like really good friends.
Yeah.
So the cheating definitely it was hurtful. Um, I even did this. I don't know if you saw it, but on Patreon on New Year's Eve, I wrote an apology. And it was
That's
very
good.
short. It was an apology to the two um spouses.
Hmm.
Just apologizing because again, I do have a moral compass.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
I'm not perfect. None of us are
Yeah.
perfect because I promise you, those spouses also had skeletons in their closet.
Of course. Of course. Of course.
One will not admit it. One will not admit it, but we all know.
Exactly. You when problems arrive in a relationship, marriage, friendship, it doesn't matter. You see, like there's no way that you could be with somebody or know someone and not see that things are changing and think that the same way you checked out, they're checked out. And I'm pretty sure, I'm like 99.9% sure.
Mm-hmm.
If you're not getting it from home, somebody's entertaining you in some way, shape, or form.
Yep.
Nobody's going to be
Somebody got your
innocent.
ear, somebody got your heart, or somebody got something else.
Something. And
Yeah,
emotional is worse than physical cheating any freaking
absolutely.
day. Because
Absolutely.
once somebody can get your mind,
Yep. The sex is the easy part.
the easiest freaking
The
part.
easiest part.
Okay?
People don't realize that. And,
No.
and, and they think, like, and again, the emotional connection, it would not be a day that would go by and I did not feel the need to like tell my best friend, which is now my man,
Hmm.
just anything, just
Hmm.
like what I had to eat or just anything. I had that need to. Whereas though my husband, I was like, oh,
Yeah.
call me back.
Yeah.
You
Yeah,
know,
because you was getting fulfilled. And
yeah,
and it's hard to I'm telling you, it's so once that mental, it is so hard. Because even if you were to have cut it off,
yes,
it
you
would have been a
tried.
piece you would have kept looking for because it was being fulfilled.
For
Nobody
sure.
wants to walk around this world and not have what they're yearning for. Like you want that. You want to feel like you're seen. You want to feel like you're important. You want to feel like you matter to somebody and somebody is willing to sacrifice for you the way you would sacrifice for them. It don't
Yes.
have to be the same extent, but that somebody is willing to do those things for you. And it will. It's gonna win. It's gonna win over everything. I mean, it does not matter how great the person is. Like I was telling a friend this weekend, we was talking about different relationships and stuff, and I was telling them like it doesn't matter if the person is like working at McDonald's or and I said it last week on TikTok too. And it doesn't matter if the person looks great on paper. Just because you have all these accolades and you have the money and you have the career does not mean you know what to do in a relationship. It does not mean you know how to speak to someone in a relationship. It does not mean that you even know how to be considerate. You don't have a balance. You may only know work. That's it. Nothing else. But then you can have somebody that's working at McDonald's making whatever they make nowadays and are able to understand everything. You have to be able to balance. You have to. I don't care if you have zero or millions. You have to be able to balance or just don't be in a relationship. And you cannot walk around here thinking just because you look good on paper,
That's
just because
right.
you got stuff to offer,
That's
just
right.
because you might be the whole table that you are bringing to the table, it don't mean that you're great at loving. It does not mean that you know how
Nope.
to speak to the person's heart. That does
Nope.
not matter. That just means that you work real hard and you earn what you got. It don't mean that you earned the relationship. It does not mean you earned your mate's heart because all you're focused on is what you look like on paper.
And
The
I'm glad
people.
you brought that up. So we're gonna reloop that because that was
Okay.
one of the quotes you said,
Hmm.
and that and it hit me because my ex is an engineer, so he made great money. He worked. He had great work ethics. He was able to invest and do all. He learned that process. We actually learned it together.
Hmm.
So we kind of like learned the financial stabilities and pluses together to
Hmm.
kind of build a decent life. And I remember he said to me, because he would love bomb me, like if anything, like
Right.
emotionally, nah, but like
Right.
like Louis purses, Twitter, anything that I wanted, trips, whatever. That was his love language, I guess,
Hmm.
to me. I
Hmm.
guess he thought I needed and wanted that. I love it. I like it, but
Right.
like you can't even emotionally stimulate me. So I remember he said to me once he found out I was with someone or seeing someone else.
Yeah.
He said to me, he said, "How much does he make?" That was like one of his first questions. How much does he make? Could he even take care of you? And I'm like, how dare you?
Yeah.
Because he was on his high horse
Hmm.
because he financially could he knew what I liked, not what I loved. He knew
Right.
what I liked.
Yeah.
And do you know what happened when I decided to leave him? To physically leave the marital house?
I
Do you
would
know what
love to
he did?
know. I would love to know.
He broke into my closet and collected all of the Louis purses, anything that he brought me designer, except for the bag I walked away with and I had on that day, that I had with me that day. He took everything back and
But
told
that's,
me and
go ahead.
told me tell that nigga to buy you all this stuff again.
But see, that's the people like, and it's sad because it's almost like it's almost like the orange guy, right? That none of us prefer.
Uh huh.
Okay. Because you know how to work your money and you have the influence, you feel like you can get people to do whatever you want to because you have, or anybody that's really wealthy.
Yeah.
Not really, well, I'm gonna say those that are rich. Um,
Be rich. My
yeah,
bad. I
because
say
yeah,
rich.
yeah, because you look at it as well, I have this, I have that, so you should be lucky to have me.
Mm-hmm.
Just because I
Nope.
don't have the degrees, nigga, I got way more heart than you have. I'm richer than you are, and it does not always have to be money. Like people don't get that. They really do feel like because you have all these things that could easily be taken from you today, tomorrow, or
Yes.
next week. What can't be taken away? You can't take my integrity. You can't take my loyalty. You can't take my you can't take my determination. You can't take my creativity. You can't take how much I love or protect. You can't
Yes.
take all my kids. Just the fact that I have those is enough, right?
Yeah.
You that I don't care. And everything that you're giving me, if I can work just as hard and get it if I want to.
Buy it
So
again.
it's
Yep.
not like I need you for
Yes.
these things. And I always told my wife, I want you. It is never because I need you. And I had to make sure I gave a balance because I do need her. but not in a sense of I don't want you ever think that if you hit a low spot, I'm gonna leave because you gave me this certain. I'm not. We
Right.
in this thing, right? That don't. Long as you are speaking to my heart and I'm speaking to your heart, and we can have these check-ins to make sure we're doing what we're supposed to do. Babe, we solid. I don't. We ain't got to worry about nothing. I'm way more mature now. That money thing is a plus. I love it.
It's a
Money
plus.
love, right? But and I know we can't live without it. So I ain't gonna be naive to that. But it's not to the point where I'm gonna stay with you just because of what you got. And I'm surely not staying with you just because you can take me somewhere. Because
Yeah.
even with my wife, that was one of our hurts with to get through. Because she could call me on Friday and say, meet me at the airport Saturday, take me to Fort Lauderdale just for lunch, and we fly back.
Mhm.
Right. Or hey, we're going to Vegas and we're just going there for a day. And
Yeah.
that's horrible because it's Vegas. But
Right.
we can go out and try a restaurant and turn right back around and come home. That's great. I love it. Absolutely amazing. But if she could not speak to my heart, what are we doing?
What are we doing?
What are we doing? That food is not good. It's great, but that food is not going to fulfill what I'm looking for, what my heart is desiring from a person.
Yeah.
But
That is.
people do feel like that. And not
Yeah.
realizing now your ass is happy and you can get your, it ain't like you can't get your own damn bags.
Girl. Happy.
And can't
Like
nobody take it from it because they're yours.
mine. Yeah.
Right,
Uh-huh.
right.
But
Yeah.
but but then, like a year later, after everything digests, he decided to get them back to me. And guess what I did? Guess what I did?
Told them to keep them.
No, I took them because they're mine.
They
They,
was yours.
they mine. You can't
Yeah,
give
and
me
you
something
probably
back
could
if
have
it's
sued them
mine.
for it.
I'm gonna take them.
And you
That
probably could have sued them for it if he hadn't gave it back. Because they were a
you know
gift.
what? Okay,
They
let's
were a
see.
gift.
They were a gift.
Yeah,
I never took anything else, back. But again,
yeah.
it's just that, like you said, like the money, the house, the car, um, it really doesn't matter. Like
Mm-hmm,
it's nice,
mm-hmm.
but it's just like if someone is not meeting you and equally yoked to you and really reaching out to your heart and really touches your heart, none of that really matters.
It don't. It doesn't.
And like I said, that was 16 years married, 16 years. And
Yeah.
trust me, it shook up everything in my life. Everything. Everything. However, so it's nothing like you said earlier. It's nothing that anyone can come back and say, oh, Todd did this, Todd did that, because my
Mm-hmm.
children are aware
Yeah.
in real time. They were aware of the things that was going on. My
Yeah.
parents are aware in real time. My
Uh-huh.
friends were aware in a sense of real time after I left. So it's
Right.
nothing anyone could put out on social media
Mm-hmm.
that is like a shocker to my character,
Mm-hmm.
or from the people that know me. If you know me, you know me.
Yep, that's
And
it.
again, that's it. That's it. If it doesn't sound right, then know it's something more to it.
Yeah.
Don't believe just anything someone sells to you because
Yeah.
they're hurt.
Mm-hmm. And I had a hard time, even yesterday, something a friend, I found out a while ago, a friend, well, somebody we called a friend, had lied on me and my wife. And it bothered me. So it came to surface yesterday and me. And I really wanted to like fly to Dallas, like dead ass.
Really?
Because I still work on this. I don't lie on me. And I
Girl.
hate when you go out here and you put out stories about me, even if some of them are true. I need to like let me say it. Don't, which is why I want to be transparent. Don't like let me say it. I always have this feeling that I have to, and I'm sure it comes from the trauma of being my childhood, but I always feel like I need to show you like that's not what happened. Like listen to me. Like let me
Yeah.
give you my side of the story. And for years I kept trying to figure out how can I do? How can I do? How? And my wife always say, "Babe, you don't have to prove it to nobody." Okay, it's real easy when your whole life you've been trying to prove. You've been
Yeah.
trying to prove you're a great mom. You're trying to prove you're a great wife. You're trying to prove that you can be successful. You're trying to prove that you're a great friend because everybody doesn't know how to cherish you. You're
Yeah.
always trying to prove. You're trying to prove that I'm just as strong as anybody else. You're always trying to prove. So when you mess with my character and my integrity, Now, there's some stuff I have done that's crazy. But if you ask me, I'm gonna tell you, I don't have no reason to lie unless it's just none of your damn business.
That's
Or
right.
if I don't owe it to you. But if I owe it to you, like I even always tell my wife, if we're not dating, when we were before we were dating, the things don't matter if we're not dating. If we're dating, everything matters, right?
That's right.
And I always tell, if you don't have a ring on your finger, who are you answering to? You don't have they don't have the right to question you. I mean, you don't have to answer at all. But if you're married to the person, that is where I'm obligated to you. But if we're not married, if we're not exclusive, I don't owe you nothing. I don't owe you nothing. You're gonna take what I have or you can leave. And
Yeah.
vice versa. I'm gonna take what you have. You don't owe me nothing. I'm big on that. And I tell young people all the time, what are you answering questions for? This do you have a ring? Like are you gonna marry this person? Can you see yourself marrying this person? Because
Right.
what are we doing? Why are we searching phones? Why are we like we're not doing that? That they don't belong to you anyway. They belong to the streets until hopefully they become yours.
But yeah, like I agree, and I don't have any like the traumas you mentioned, but
Mhm.
I like when I hear um fabrications of stuff that is made up about myself, and actually I don't even want to say when I hear, because then
Right.
that means that it reoccurred. No,
Right.
when I heard,
Yeah.
because it
Yeah.
happened once with one person that I was brought aware, I made aware of. Um, I make it my business not to be in anyone else's business. That's just me, because
Right.
it keeps my mind
Hmm.
on me and less on what's going on with them. Or
Yeah.
it's just, to me, I've always been, you know that song, I don't want to know. You know that
Yeah.
song by
Yeah.
I don't want to know. I really
Yeah.
just don't. And I know that sounds like, in some cases some people like, girl, you should want to. I don't want to know. So when it is brought to my attention based on the content of the fabrication,
Mhm.
it's like, you're right. Like, I feel like it's my duty to say, like, I'm from a family that'll approach you, pull up at your house. Like, it's in my blood. I said all that to
Yeah.
say it's in my blood. I
Yeah.
get it honestly. Like, I
Yeah.
want to approach you in real
Yeah.
life, not on the screen,
Yeah.
not on
Yeah.
the real, the REEL, but
Yeah.
in real life.
Yeah.
Like, that's just me. I want to approach you. And if it turns into something, and I know I'm a big age, but
I mean, but some people require it.
and yeah.
I
So
go
let's
hold.
get back to it. So yeah. So when I hear accusations based on someone wanting to hurt me and hurt my integrity and hurt my, you know, first of all, I've never done a drug a day in my life. The
Yeah.
the the storyline was I do drugs, or I've done drugs. I am very much proud to say I've not even smoked marijuana a
Yeah.
day in my life.
Yeah.
One, I'm very nasal anyway, so my like I just can't, like the breathing in the smoke.
Yeah.
No, if
Yeah.
it's smoke, I'm not there.
Yeah.
So I've never done any type of drugs a day in my life. I barely can drink. I sip 2 drinks, I'm drunk. So
Yeah.
I'm not even that type of girl. One,
Hmm.
two. I've heard this person has put out there that I guess I had or have a sexually transmitted disease. Child, I frequent dentist appointments, eye
Hmm.
doctor appointments.
Yeah.
I make certain I'm on my health game.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like, so no, like it we being transparent. Like,
Hmm.
I'll go there, but I'm not gonna go there. But
Yeah.
yeah, and had miscarriages recently. So I would know if I had an STD.
Yeah. 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 Yeah.
So it's just, when people put stuff out there like that, it's like, I think more so they know they're making it up, but they
Mhm.
just want the response.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Well, this is
And
my
I
one
also
response of me being
and,
transparent. It's not
and I
true.
also feel like they're miserable. And that's something it had to be said over and over yesterday. I even woke up this morning and was like, I'm going on TikTok. And the prayer call that I was on this morning for my the ministry I'm a part of, the last part of the prayer was literally like, do not use your energy on people, da da da. And it was something else. And I'm sitting in the shower, listening to the prayer, and I'm like, all right, I got it. I got it. Okay. Because even though I said I was gonna be good today, I told my friends, I said, I'm gonna be good today. Just give me some, let me sleep. and I'm gonna be good because I still wanted to fly to Dallas, Texas. But and I woke up this morning, I wasn't good. I wasn't good at all. And then when I heard the prayer call, I said, okay, I'm not gonna give it any more energy outside of the pieces I may touch on tonight. But other
Mhm.
than that, I'm not gonna give it that I need to go put my hands on the person or I need to go do X, Y, and Z. I won't
Yeah,
because and I'm telling you, the leaders that I have that I follow or underneath and my spiritual community, they saved a lot of people this year. Just this year. Okay. We ain't even talking last year, just this year, because I'm definitely one of those ones. I want to pull up. Like we're gonna have a conversation. We can have a real one, but I
yeah.
don't want to talk
This could
long.
start off as
So,
wanting to have a conversation
mhm,
because in real life, you don't give me that.
yeah,
But
yeah,
in real life, REEL, you give me
hmm
that. But
yeah,
again, I don't want to know. So
yeah.
I'm being informed this information. I'm not checking for you.
Right, right,
I'm not checking for you.
right. At
I
all,
promise you.
at freaking
I make it
all.
my business to be in my businesses
Mhm. Yeah, yeah, and standing on it. Okay,
and standing on it
'cause it
and
ain't no
collecting
money.
checks.
Well, I ain't gonna say it ain't no money being nosy, but I don't want the money. I don't want that one
Collect
because it'll
checks.
end
So,
too.
I can collect a check from them too, because that's a
Yeah,
lawsuit.
it is.
I'm good on collecting checks.
Baby, because you a cancer. Because my wife will sue Inti Bati. Okay? I mean, quick, fast, and a hurry. I have learned and listened and watch
I'm
her all the
great.
time. Baby.
I'm letting it build. But
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah. Because then you have nothing, all because you want to open your mouth and be stupid about, and it's not that serious.
And this
Versus
is
you just,
transparency. Again, this is the only time Marilyn Monroe is addressing the bullcrap.
yeah.
Because this is a transparent conversation.
Yeah.
And you
And they can
know,
take it however they want to.
take it how you want. And again,
Yeah.
I'm not even digging deep. I'm just digging surface level. This is
Right.
dermis. This is
Because
dermis. This
they're
ain't,
not getting that, they're not getting that much time. This
no.
not their podcast. This ass.
Next.
Is.
So what are deal breakers? Next. What
Next.
are deal breakers? Like, okay, so you're currently married.
Yes.
And of course, in every relationship, there are some deal breakers that could abruptly end the marriage, the
Mhm.
relationship, whatever. So, I mean, obviously, the obvious of infidelity. But
Right.
what are like some things you would just have to say? You know what, Joy?
So let me back up. So we've had infidelity in our marriage,
Okay.
and that wasn't a deal breaker for me.
Okay.
I believe, and I might be called crazy. I believe in giving you one opportunity, only because I know I have done some shit. Like it's stuff my first ex probably would never ever ever hear about. Now if he asked me, I would tell him, but it ain't no point now. We've been divorced
Right.
damn near, I want to say probably over 20 years now. Maybe no, it ain't probably been that long, but since 2009. So it's been a long time.
Okay.
Um,
16.
but I've done some shit. So I'm gonna give everybody a chance because I know karma love me. I know I put a whole bunch of little seeds for karma to come on and allow me to reap because you can't hurt people and not think you're not gonna get hurt, right? So I'm not naive to that. My aunt always told me if you're gonna do it, be prepared for whatever consequences come. So I'm 100%.
True.
I live by that, right? So if I do it, I might not like it. It might hurt, whatever the case may be. I'm gonna cry and all that. But that's not a deal. That wasn't a deal breaker. Um, so have I don't know if I have a real deal breaker because I be feeling like infidelity is probably like the worst.
Hmm.
Okay, if she did it, if it happened again, oh, it would be no conversation.
So,
So
like
that would be
a repeat.
yeah, if I don't care if it was a conversation, a text message, it would be is there is no room for it because you had your one that was a seed I planted. I take it that I got it back. I own my part in it. She owned her part in it, and we took us a long ass time
Yeah.
to get back to even having healthy conversations. Um, so I would say that would be it because I don't really have. Or if her ass want to stay in Baltimore for another year, I'm gonna have to go.
Okay.
No, not for real, but I probably would. I would have to. We would have to get another apartment somewhere or something because I want to be out of Maryland. But it would be if she was texting somebody inappropriate, it would be I wouldn't have no understanding at all because you
Yeah.
already had your one.
Yeah.
Yeah. What is
I
your?
I think you mentioned like the karma and the seed and the, so I always pray and ask God, like, God, like, is it really that give and take? Like, is it really like, okay, you hit me in the eye, someone later down the line is gonna hurt me? Because it doesn't, the wound or the injury doesn't have to be equivalent to how
Right.
you issued it. You
Right.
know, it could come back different.
Hmm.
The black eye could later on be a broken leg,
Yeah.
later down the
Yeah.
line. So uh for sure, definitely infidelity. Like,
Hmm.
you know, it's so many marriages
Hmm.
today. So many people that are married, that have been married, that just
Hmm.
got married,
Hmm.
that are, is, they have a lot of infidelity that goes on, and forgiveness. I know for me, I just couldn't, I couldn't be that one of forgiveness, because once I see you one way, that's it. Like, I can't
Yeah.
alter. Like, if I see you as a cheater and I see you as, like, you've done this to me once, you just
Hmm.
got caught.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's just like an infestation of pests. You see
Yeah.
one, you know it's more.
Absolutely. Hmm.
You can't be naive to think that it's just like nothing else has happened, or, that you didn't see.
Yeah.
And so definitely infidelity, abuse for sure, like any
That's
type
a
of
fact.
abuse.
Yeah.
Just any type of abuse, because no, because
Yeah.
again, we're at a grown age. We're not young anymore. We're not trying to figure things out and figure out how to, no, like,
Yeah.
so I think definitely abuse of any kind, um, and infidelity for sure.
Yeah.
Because
And see,
I'm very comfortable with. I will be very comfortable. I don't want this because I am with my soulmate, but
yeah.
I'm very comfortable with me.
Yeah.
And if I had to finish my years of life like just being single,
Hmm.
I gave myself a good run as far
Yeah.
as being committed. So why not? Like, I'm comfortable with me. I'm
Yeah.
good with me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that makes a
So
difference too, because I have one of my best friends. She always says, she don't have to stay with nobody because she's not ugly. She got her own money, and she don't have no problem, doing what she got to do. And when you that's being sure with yourself. That is being happy with yourself and knowing I don't have to take this. And even when me and Joy went through us, and it wasn't sexually, it was mental. So that's what made it worse.
yeah,
And literally just conversation, but it still made it worse because you don't know when that person's mind flips back over to it being about you. So that's a whole insecurity now you have to think about every day because you
yeah,
don't know. You'll never freaking know. The only thing you could do is give them a little bit of room to see what's gonna happen. Um, but I feel like when it comes to infidelity, nobody should have to do nothing they don't want to do. But I feel like it should always be a conversation because you may have missed the mark. Now, I ain't saying a repeat offender now, because if
right,
you repeat, you're gonna keep on. So if you do it once and we able to get past it, and you do it again, you're gonna continue. It's just like if somebody hits you once, they're gonna continue, right?
yep,
Um, that I don't have room for, but we can have a conversation so we can see where was the breakdown, right? And like for me and Joy, our breakdown was she worked at night, out at a warehouse overnight at that time. Like I said, she always had like 18,000 jobs. So she worked at night at that time. And it wasn't a conversation we had. She doesn't like me calling her and talking in the background. And I don't like you calling me and talking to 18,000 people in the background. Now I understand you at work, but you're still doing something I don't want you to do, and you don't like it when I do it.
yeah,
So, and we just had this conversation recently because we was talking about like how we done moved on and everything and how life is working now. And she was like, yeah, it was just the fact that when she called, it made her feel like I didn't have time for her. And I was like, no, it's just the fact that you called and you're talking to everybody in the background. You
right,
call me back. Call me back. And I would say that just call me back so I can watch my show. And not instead of me just saying, babe, if you're not gonna be able to talk, just call me when you can talk. I would say, all right, just call me back. I'm watching my show. So it made her feel like Chicago PD was way more important than me having a conversation with her. And for me, it was you're calling me, but you really don't want to sit on the phone and talk to me because you're talking to everybody else. So
Yeah.
we literally was looking for the same thing and nobody had a conversation. So here somebody comes along and they're showing that they want to have a conversation, which sometimes you got to be very careful. Like I lived by this with me and Joy got married. If you are willing to entertain me, um, while I'm married. Now, I'm not talking about we going through and we both know that this not working for us. I'm not talking about that. I'm
Mhm.
talking about life looks like it's going well. You might have issues because that's life, but you're willing to entertain me, even though I'm not talking about nothing about separating. I'm not saying I want a divorce. I'm not saying I don't want this, and you're still willing to entertain me. I already know this is a warning, but it's my trigger. I know not to because I know one, it's gonna flip around on me. It's gonna happen,
Yeah.
right? That's what I feel. Now, do I feel like that's everybody's story? Absolutely not. Because I have friends that hooked up in the midst of cheating, and to my knowledge, they have not had any infidelity that came back on them.
Yeah.
So I
You
don't,
make it hardships. You make it like other hardships
absolutely,
before. Like it definitely
absolutely.
like I think, and that's like one of the challenges from, coming from marriages
Mhm.
into a relationship. And again, it's very much a relationship of like love. This is not like anything else
Yeah,
besides love.
yeah,
And very much like, I mean, everything is very organic and everything. And so it's not like, forced or, I'm gonna just be with you for the financial help. Like, I'm good. Like
yeah,
it's not that case, and vice
yeah.
versa. So, um, with that said, because you said we could talk about whatever.
Yeah, I'm open.
So with that said, do you most appreciate your wife and what your wife could contribute financially to the lifestyle you have?
Um, I ain't gonna lie and say I don't love it. Because this is probably the best life I've had my whole entire life. Um, we want the same things.
Mm-hmm.
Like we want the home, we want the businesses. We want our kids to be successful, whether all of them want to listen to the easy route to get there or not. Um, that's the things we want. We want to leave an inheritance for them, like for
Yeah.
real, right? But like yesterday when we was driving home from Ohio, so it was a 6.5 hour drive. So of course we had to figure out something to talk about. So my wife asked, like, "Hey, are we good? Do we need like is there anything we need?" And for the first time in 5 freaking months, 4 months, I had nothing that I needed that she wasn't giving. Right. And then as we're talking, I said, "No, it is something. I need you to be able to clock out of work." My wife does not know how to clock out of work. She works Monday through Monday. Okay.
Yes.
She works from sun up to sundown. Like she's in bed right now. And I literally was like, "Are you okay? Because how did you get upstairs?" And it wasn't even 6:30, right? That's unheard of for my wife. But that was the only thing. I want the balance. I don't want our life to change. So I know that it do require some of the late hours. It does require me to have more my end coming into because that will also help her. Um, but I want the balance. Like I like having her when I want to have her. But then if I'm watching a show, she can stay downstairs.
Right.
She can stay downstairs for a little bit because she don't like what I watch. But I love what she provides. I love the life that we have because of her hard work and our commitment to each other. But I don't know. I think sometimes I'd rather have more of her quality time because that's still my biggest love language.
Yeah.
Yeah. What about you?
Um, I definitely missed. I miss, having my big house, my big closet,
Yeah.
having my, just having, my garden, in which I
Yeah.
still have access to all of those things because I still have a share of ownership and I still
Right.
store my items in my houses.
Right. Right.
But um, I would, I'm gonna be honest with you. I prefer no designer,
Hmm.
or I mean, my designer that I left. Not at the big house, which that's
Hmm.
coming again.
Yes.
All the things that I walked away from, I should say,
Right.
but just being able to be with my soulmate.
Hmm.
That trumps everything.
Yeah. Yeah.
Everything. Like,
Yeah.
period. Not having the allow, like, this man provides me more than all of the material things my ex was able to provide me. So I'm, and the thing is, I love the beauty of it is we're, like you said, we're, what you enjoy, you have the same goals, you're both driven. And I like a bit of quiet money. I like money that's, like, I don't need to, announce my next
Yeah.
check,
Yeah. Yeah.
that type of thing. And he's the same way. He's kind of like very much humble, but yet we grinding. Like, we're
Yeah.
getting our money. We don't need to, I mean, we can advertise, but, it's not going to be a thing of like, see this check, we got this check. And I love the fact that we're about to build what we about, that we are building together. And again, just him being my soulmate and being like my best friend still. Like, we
Yeah.
can still sit on the phone and talk for hours.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
we're very, like, we're connected, like freaking frat. We're to,
Yeah.
you see one, you see the other, like, all the time. And
Yeah.
I just, that, like I said, that trumps everything.
It
Like,
do.
we
And
can
like,
walk away from all of that and to
mhm.
being able to be it, like, honestly, I can't ask for more at
Yeah.
all.
And I do feel like sometimes people get married at the wrong time and you miss who was really created for you.
Yes.
And that's what I feel like for me and Joy. Yes, it started off wrong, but I feel 1000% she was created for me and I
Mm,
was created for her. Like, regardless of what happens in life, we will always be partners. And I mean, like, literally.
that's right.
Um, and spiritually, we will always be partners.
Yep.
Like, and we're total opposites, but so much the same.
Yeah.
Like, literally. And I remember when we used to do counseling, our counselor would always tell a marriage counselor, she would always say, y'all both are saying the same thing. You want the same thing. But because our wording was different, she may articulate it a little bit deeper than I
Yep.
will. And I'm gonna say it. I'm not repeating myself. It's gonna be very brief because I don't want to do all this talking stuff, right? But we literally always desired the same thing from each other, but it will always be our hiccup because we didn't realize we both wanted the same thing from each other.
Yeah.
But I feel like if we would not would do I wish that we could have done it a little different, that it would not have caused it caused Zay's dad any harm. Absolutely. He's my best
Yeah.
friend. Like,
Yeah.
even though he's married, he has a great life. I love, love, love his wife.
Yeah.
She is like perfect for my son. I don't care about him. She's perfect for my son. Um, but I would love to have done it where it did not cause him any damage because he's definitely one of the most genuine people you will ever meet.
Yeah.
And even to this day, if I needed something, as long as it's not going to jeopardize anything in his household, it would not be a no.
Yeah.
And that's the same thing for my first ex-husband. Now, as was because he was young, but even so, um, it's a friendship there, but they weren't who I was supposed to be with. Now,
Yeah.
I call Joy my forever love because I do feel like Zay's dad was my soulmate
Hmm.
only because I felt like we came from the same thing. Our
Yes.
family knew each other. We had the same background. Family was big for us. So having the kids over and all that stuff and the cooking and all that stuff was what we had in common. And all the kids living at home and all that stuff. Where me and my wife are totally different. We want the peace and quiet now and then, come, but don't stay too long. But I feel like she's my forever love because I'm choosing to make her my forever love.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. And it's crazy because I'm in a whole nother state. My ex and I had moved from Maryland all the way to South Carolina. And we
Mhm.
moved here because of he had a project here, an engineering project. And so when we moved here. Um, fast forward a decade, not even quite a decade, but near a decade later, he moved me so that I'm able to align with my soulmate.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
go
Yeah.
figure. Like, I would have never imagined moving out of state to build with my husband at the time
Hmm.
would lead me to a man that I could not ever be without.
Yeah.
Like that's it's if you would have told me that like 11 years ago, I would have been like,
Yeah.
huh, yeah, right. But I would like I can't spend a day without this man. Like we're just best friends. And it's nothing like I'm not talking like sexual. I'm not talking
Yeah.
it's just the wholehearted like love, respect. Um we enjoy each other. Like
Yeah.
very much enjoy and our families, believe it or not, like our families click. Like it didn't feel forced. It was just like we've been together before.
Yeah.
And
Now,
I'm
see,
like,
that's something I miss. Because my wife family's in Jacksonville, Florida, and
okay.
we're here. So the only person they've met is my mom and, of course, the Xavier, of course, Abby, and then I think my daughter Naya because she used to travel with us. But other than that, our families have not been able to
Cool.
cohabitate together because
Okay.
they so far away. So
Yeah.
nobody has really had that. We have like we're not having these um big Sunday dinners where everybody can come around and really mingle. I miss that.
Yeah.
That was the only
Like,
thing because that was something that was easy if you're dating in your state
yeah.
or in your state, then it makes it easier. But being that we're in total different places in the state, it makes it them being in Florida and us being here in Maryland, it definitely is almost impossible to get
Mhm.
everybody together because
Yeah.
one, the ones that matter to us the most are up in age.
Yeah.
Yeah, so they're not gonna do no
That's
whole bunch. My mom will, but most of them not doing a whole bunch of traveling.
that's true. Yeah. But yeah,
Yeah,
his mom, um, from my understanding, from several people, she doesn't care for anybody. But like the first day I met her, she gave me a hug and he was like, hold on, what are you doing? You don't hug people. And it was
yeah,
just like I feel like we've been together before. Like
yeah.
we've done this before.
And you
Um,
may have.
really, I really do.
Yeah,
And again, my intention is, and I just want to make this so clear, was never to hurt anybody.
right. Nobody
That's
is,
that's not even me.
and it's
And
never right.
it did hurt. But again, it was not. I was not malicious.
Mhm,
Um, in making the decision or trying to not make a decision to um again I remember what Joy said, and this is something that never left my mind. She said to on the 21 questions
mhm,
couples edition, she said, I didn't break up their marriage, I
mhm.
just didn't leave.
Yeah, she didn't. Nobody can break up something unless it's already broken.
That
I
part.
can't go hold a plate in my hand and be like, because I'm now holding it, I'm breaking it. It would have to have a chip or a crack already in it. I would have to have dropped it. I would have to have neglected it. I would have to have not cared for it properly in order for this plate to break. You're not going to take a plate out the cabinet carefully, wash it carefully, give it love and attention, and it still break. It will not. It's
Yeah.
just not going to happen. Right. So that I feel like that is all it is. It was the fact that she didn't leave and I didn't let her go. Because
That's
even when she wanted to pull away because she seen that I was really, really indecisive and because I didn't want the backlash, I didn't want my church family to look at me a certain way. I didn't want to lose friends. Um, I didn't even know if I really wanted to lose him, honestly, because he was my best friend. Um, but I still didn't. I knew I needed her. I needed her because she's different. She's just a different. She's a different breed. Like I
she's
have
a
people. I have
cancer.
it has to be right. But I was going to say I have friends that absolutely will not date a cancer because they had. I mean, like we had a whole conversation at lunch one day, and they were like, if you even say like they introduce themselves and they can have everything they want. If they are a cancer, they will tell them no, thank you.
Why?
Oh my, because they had bad experiences with cancers, and that is two of my greatest friends, and they both feel the exact same way. And one of them, cancer is the only sign that she had the most fun with. But she said she would never ever date them because of all the shit that came with it. And me, I only attract, like when it comes, I ain't gonna say only. One of the biggest signs that I attract is cancers. Like literally. So we went away this weekend to go celebrate Joy's podcast partner, Absolute, for her birthday, which is
Yes.
today. Birthday,
Yes.
Absolute.
Happy
Um,
birthday.
and it was a, I think I don't know if it was her aunt or a cousin. It was an older lady, and we all speak and everything or whatever, but we went out to dinner and I loved her hair. And then I'm like, it's something about her that's drawing me to her. Like, there's so many other people, and I'm conversating with everybody, conversing with everybody. We're having conversations, all that stuff. And but it was something about her. And I'm like, I love your hair, da 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 da. She had fell in the restaurant, and I'm like, my nurturing was, please make sure you get the report, da 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 da. And then I was like, what is your birthday? And it is June 24th. And I was like, you're cancer. That's what it is. Because it literally was almost like nobody else was in the room. I was locked on her. It was like she literally just stood out and she was a freaking cancer.
Cancers are amazing. Like really. And I'm not just because my soulmate, my man is a cancer
Uh-huh.
also.
And that's why y'all work so well, because y'all
Yeah,
understand each other.
very much. Like
Uh-uh.
he gets me, I get him.
Yeah.
It's like we can speak without speaking.
Mm-hmm.
Like he is
Mm-hmm.
amazing. And I remember I've dated when I was in high school. My high school sweetheart was a cancer, is a cancer.
Mm-hmm.
And I just loved him. Like, and when we started, my high school sweetheart and I didn't like him at all. I was like, get him away from me. Dude, do not ask me for my number. Don't. And
Right.
end up just kind of like falling and becoming friends. That's how they seep in. They're
It
very
is.
friendly, very
Yes.
kind, very
Yes. Very.
attentive.
Very.
But it's natural. It's not like
Yeah.
anything trying to, love bomb you. It's just very
Yeah.
natural. So that's how like, but yeah, cancers are, not all of us. Of course, there's some bad apples in every sign.
Every zodiac, yes.
They are. I mean, that's
Absolutely.
just to be.
Absolutely.
But cancers are very. I mean, I can spot a cancer myself too, for
Yeah, and
sure.
it's crazy. I'm telling you, it's so crazy. If I like the young lady that I met a couple weeks ago, but we met again this weekend because of course like she's in the community. But when we first met, she's and I don't like. Let me change my wording. I used to say I don't like people. I realize I really do love people. I collect people, right? Whatever reason, I connect with people and I don't never let them go unless they just decide they want to walk away. But when we sat down, we automatically like, it was no force because I don't like meeting like when Joey frets come in town and they bring their girlfriend or their wife, I be like, don't throw me on them. Like, I don't throw me on them. Like, I don't. I need to see. Like, I need to see the energy.
Right.
So I'm always nervous if I have to meet someone's girlfriend or wife because I don't know if we're gonna mesh, and I don't want us to be sitting at a table. We have nothing to talk about because I don't like your energy. So anyway, we went to eat, and she sat down, and when I tell you the conversation just took off, and I was like, "Are you a Cancer?" Because it's just flowing too wonderful. She was a Leo, but happy birthday, Absolute. Um,
Birthday.
but she's a Leo, but it's still like everything. But her moon sign was Cancer.
I'm a Cancer, but my moon sign is a Leo.
That's so crazy. And I
Yeah.
was like, okay, so it's still a match. And the two greater friends I'm talking about that will not date a Cancer are have Cancer moons too. One is a
Oh,
Gemini Cancer moon, the other one is a Taurus Cancer moon.
oh wow.
Yeah, so I'm like, it's still a connection. It's still
Yeah.
like drawing. Yeah.
Yeah. And
Mhm.
and when I first met you, of course I knew of you because
Right.
we're from the same town.
Right.
But we were never like, and
Hmm.
so when you said you were a Capricorn, I was like, what? What? Because Capricorns actually love me. I,
Hmm.
I do meet a lot of good Capricorns, but I always think of Capricorns as like very wishy washy
Can be.
and just so. But I always say this, and I've said this since I've known you. You're my favorite Capricorn.
Thank you.
So
I feel like it depends
clutching,
on
clutching them.
clutch. I
Clutch.
feel like it's I feel like it depends on what month you in. And I feel like I got saved because I'm the 22nd, so I'm on the Sagittarius
Oh,
cusp. So I'm literally on, like, I'm the cusp. I'm the first day of Capricorn, which if you look it up now, and it says it's coming up as I'm a Sagittarius, which I know I'm a Capricorn, right? But I do have a lot of Sagittarius traits. My mom is a Sagittarius. That's who pretty much raised me. So I'm gonna have, and I have Aries traits. I feel like I'm take on some of the stuff that my aunt gave me because she helped raise me, like literally majority of my life, and she's an Aries. Like her loyalty and the sacrifice that she do, I feel like I get that from her. Like I've never seen her turn on anybody. Um,
Sages are. My ex was a Sag. Is a Sag.
My mom's a Sag, my son's a Sag, my sister's a Sag, and baby. But I feel like they gave me my balance. Now, will I ain't gonna say wishy washy. Can I flip the switch on you? Absolutely. But if I do, it's because I watched you do something that I don't like.
Yeah.
Like I am very welcoming to everybody, even if I'm nervous. If you give me great energy, if I feel like, like, okay, I don't feel nothing crazy. So, I'm gonna welcome you in. I absolutely despise new people coming around and people are being mean to them or not
Yeah.
being welcoming or whispering about them as if they can't hear them.
Yes.
That is a turn off for me because it makes me feel like if you're doing it to them, you're going to do it to me too.
Absolutely.
I'm
Absolutely.
no different. I don't care if you say, girl, we've been friends 5 years. I would never. We've been friends for
Yeah.
20 years. If you did it to them,
Yep.
you do it to me.
Yep.
Okay. It ain't nothing that's gonna make me feel anything different. The same
Yep.
way we can have sidebar conversations in one chat and then get back in another and have something different. It's possible. It's definitely
Right.
possible. So that is where you'll see me flip my switch. If somebody is new to the group or new to the tribe or new and they're not giving us a reason to look at them sideways and you start treating them sideways, you go down on my totem pole.
Yeah. I
And
agree.
then that's when you'll be like, oh, you being real fake. I promise you I'm not. I've never been a fake person in a day in my life. If I stop fucking with you or
Yeah.
I'm not as close to you, I peep something that I do not like. It's
Something
just
you
not
did.
right. It's just not enough for me to address.
True.
You're not
So,
important enough for me to address.
so for me, it's quite hilarious because my boyfriend laughs about it. That's him. Um, laughs about it. I have two sides.
Hmm.
Probably even three. I like and it depends on who's talking about me. I probably got that 15, like Joyce
Hmm.
Jobs.
Right.
Um, but my main two sides are like the Marilyn Monroe, the
Hmm.
very much like, oh, like the kind, nice. I'm very nice and I'm very
Hmm.
kind, and it's natural because I come from two parents that are the same way.
You're right.
It's in me, right? But then again, it's all about blood, right? The
Hmm.
bloodline.
Hmm.
So I have a family of savages.
Hmm.
So naturally, yes, I'm very much a weapon carrier, and I will put on my boyfriend always say, "You like drug dealer music? You like I just I need to hear some Pusha T. I need to
Right.
hear
Right.
like all
Right.
day. I need to hear
Right.
Dre, OJ. I need to hear like that type of stuff. I need to hear Jeezy. So he
Yeah.
always like drug dealer music, and then I get into my zone of like, yeah, okay, let's go run up on them. Like it's just I get into that. So yeah, it's two different sides to me. And again, according to who, then you can get that side.
Yeah. And I don't like when people forget. Like everything in life has a reaction. I don't
Yes.
feel like anybody just wakes up and be like, I'm gonna be a bitch today. I hope not. Because it's life is too great to do that.
Yeah, it is.
But if you notice that somebody starts changing, you should be able to sit with yourself and be like, what happened? Especially if you know the person. Now, if you don't know the person, then maybe you won't sit with yourself. But if you know the person, like, it's nobody in my life that could ever say I'm fake or I'm funny acting or anything.
That's
And if
right.
you do, I promise it's because you have not sat with yourself, because or you do not know me enough.
That's
I
right.
have never
That's right.
ever switched up on a person. Like now, I'm petty. I remember my best friend. She was in a chat earlier, Tara. Now she is my original best friend. We've been best friends for damn near 30 plus years now. And I remember one year she did not say happy birthday to me, and she was in front of me at the light.
You
Baby,
stood there.
I didn't talk to her for a whole year because I'm like, you cannot forget my birthday. And I didn't even care that maybe she might have had a busy day or whatever. It's just the fact that my birthday is a holiday to me. So what are we doing?
I
Now
can't.
that, yes, I have done that. But as far as just waking up and just want to act funny, I promise you, you either made somebody. And I had another best friend. I brought my sister-in-law around, and they didn't care for her as much for whatever reason. I loved her. She didn't do anything to me. She didn't show me that I couldn't trust her or anything like that. And I knew some of the traumas that she had,
Mhm.
and like rejection and stuff like that. And because I've been rejected, I don't want to purposely reject somebody or make them feel like you're
Yes,
rejected because of stuff. And what my friend at the time, she didn't like her, and she said something, and it was a complete turn off. Because if they did not give you a reason to treat them this way, then you got to be fair. And that's why I
I
stopped saying I don't like people. I love people. I do. I collect them. Like we went to the party this weekend. It was not a stranger in the room by the time I left. Now I ain't know everybody's name, but we kiki, laugh, dance, drink. We had a great freaking time. When we get back together again, it's gonna be it's not gonna be it's gonna be like I'm seeing my family all over again.
that's
You know?
right.
But if I
Yeah,
switch up, baby, I promise you it's because I done peeped something I ain't like.
yeah. It's because of you. It's because of
Yeah,
them.
yeah,
'Cause I'm solid. Like I'm so
yeah.
solid. You know, sometimes I have to really. A lot of times I have to really catch myself because I don't have enemies. Well, I mean, I guess I have ops, but I don't have enemies. But
No, you don't have nothing. She is the problem. You ain't got nothing. You ain't got
that
an op
part.
or enemy. She the enemy to herself.
That part.
Yeah.
So, sometimes I want to do nice things for the other side just
Hmm.
because that's who I am
Yeah.
and just because I see the lack.
Yeah. Yeah.
I want to feel because that's naturally who I like it. But again, I mean, it's just again, it's not. I'm not a mean person. I'm not a bad person. And guess what? If you chalk it up to that's what I am, then whatever. That's on you. But
Yeah.
this definitely transparency conversation was definitely needed. It's definitely needed to be honest and true to yourself.
Hmm.
And again, like once upon a time, I was not a social media person, period. Like,
Yeah.
you know, social media, what? Like, you couldn't get me to post once to say, Merry Christmas.
Right. Right.
But, again, being in this new space,
Hmm.
I feel, like I should, tackle things and be more brave. I feel
Yeah.
like, I have my wings,
You do.
so
And you got
yeah,
a support team that's gonna go hard behind you.
that part. And
Yeah.
before, like my ex, he would be like, "No,
Yeah.
I'm not setting up your background and all your other stuff." Like my man now, he like, "Look, got your background set up. I got your iPad charged. I got like he would have everything."
Yeah. It's money in this. It's money in this. It's
Yeah,
healing in this.
he
It's
sees that I enjoy it. Like he
yeah.
sees
It
the
does.
enjoyment. Yeah, he does, and he
Hmm.
thinks that I'm so excellent that he wants to share me.
Right.
So
A
I
little
think
bit, not too much.
not too much.
Like not too much.
That's just a
A
little
little
bit.
bit. A little
Yeah.
bit. But
But
yeah,
yeah,
and you need that.
yeah.
You need that.
Again, I really I'm in a good space. And
As
it's
you
been
deserve to
far
be.
too long.
Mhm.
Far too long.
Yeah, because that's a long time to be married and then knowing what you're missing. That is a long time. I've never been married that long. My longest was 7 years. Yeah, seven. And now me and Joy just hit our 7 year mark March. So yeah, I've never, but I've been my first ex because I was with him for 13 years, and that it was different leaving, but I knew I didn't want to be there.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was literally because we was told we should, not that we didn't let time do what it was going to do and see if it went that way. But thank God, I mean, I gained a friend, a best friend for the rest of my life as well, because he's my barber. I don't go to nobody but him.
How do you even, and obviously I know you feel this way, but do you think it's really healthy and really obviously possible to you, but to be friends with your ex?
I think it depends on, um, I think it depends on both parties wanting to be, because I'm definitely one of those ones. I could be your friend regardless,
Mm-hmm.
no matter what we've been through, because I can forgive. So I think it just depends. Now, me and I feel like all of us went through our moments where it was that back and forth, but then it was like, okay, we got kids,
Right.
and we genuinely were friends. like you said, genuinely was
Yeah.
friends. I always wonder because me and Joy have almost, I ain't gonna say the same mindset. Always wonder, like, if we were to ever have to say goodbye, would we still? I know we'll be partners forever, but will we be friends forever?
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. Like, I think I would want to, and I think she may want to, but I'm wondering because I know for a fact, and she knows for a fact, we've connected in several different lives, right?
Mm-hmm.
And our life path number is both 33. We've been reincarnated to the utmost of being reincarnated in almost every life. And we was told this in almost every life we were trying to be together and it just never would happen. We always attracted each other, but it never will work. Something will always disrupt it. But a year will come that it will be the right season, right? So I feel like because our connection is deeper than we can even imagine or even tapped into yet,
Yeah.
I don't feel like we will be okay seeing the other one with somebody. Even if we said
Me.
it, I don't think we would.
I'm gonna tell you something. Before I left my marriage, before I
Hmm.
physically walked out the door, backed the truck up, loaded up what I could.
Hmm.
Um, Years before that, I had that conversations with myself.
Yeah.
And I said to myself, would I be able to, one day have to face um to see my ex with someone? How would
Hmm.
I feel? Was I that done to be able to make this decision? Whether, in the future, which I did.
Hmm.
And I had that conversation so many times in my head. And I was like, I'm fine with that. Like, because he wasn't mine.
Yeah.
He
Yeah.
he he was just the reason that I got to the man I should be with.
Yeah.
Like, he,
Yeah.
because again, if it wasn't for him, I wouldn't have been in another state. Another state is in South Carolina. I would
Yeah. Yeah.
never chose South Carolina, by the way.
Right.
But
Right.
I just wouldn't. So he
Yeah.
was the like really with my full heart, I know he was the reason that I got where I am now.
Hmm.
Because I mean, we all want our partners who we're with. Like, we
Hmm.
always, we want to be with them. We choose to be with them.
Hmm.
And in my spirit and my heart, I need to be with this man.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Like, need to. There's
Yeah.
no, So
I mean,
who am I to say, like, I can't fathom to see my ex with someone else. He was really never mine.
yeah, and I told you, like I said before, for the first time ever, I mean, I haven't said it out openly. I didn't care about anybody moving on, right? It bothered me watching this man that I had to beg for time now
Uh-huh.
have or finding time to give to somebody else.
You know
Now,
what?
I do believe you leave people, people leave you, and they become better. You
Yes.
should.
Yep.
Because the stuff that I did with him, I do not do with my wife. The stuff I did when I met him, I didn't do with the person before him.
The facts.
So I feel like you do learn from, especially if you don't want to lose or go through another divorce or another separation, you will grow up. It'll make you grow up in areas that you may not have grown up in. And that's what it was. I mean, he grew up and he found the person that was made for him. That's going to make you want to do more too. It had nothing to do with me as a person. It had nothing to do with him lacking as a person. It was just something that needed to be brought out. And it was something that I needed to be brought out of me. And these two, and what's crazy is we're both married to cancers. Their birthday is 3 days apart. Right. His wife is July 13th and Joy is July 10th. Um, and so I feel like we need to be, we weren't with the people that we were created to be to help bring out or help pull out what we was stuck on. If that makes sense.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
But
I
I am
agree.
not gonna sit there and say I wasn't sitting there like the fuck. Now DJing don't matter. Now you DJing don't matter. Like,
I,
nigga, what? I will come flatten your tires. Do you understand me? But I never did it. But I'm not gonna sit there and say I want to, because I'm just like the nerve, like the
yeah.
audacity.
Yeah.
Like, what?
Yeah.
What at that point? I mean, prior to the wife he has now. So this is not against her because I love her. Prior to her, I felt like everybody before me and a few before her, please, were never on my level. They could never be me. And you still finding time? Have you lost your mind? I like literally with like your tires. But now, no. I love watching him love his
Mhm.
wife from a healthy, healed place, and she's able to do the same to him because he definitely freaking deserves it. All of it. I'm telling you, he's one of the most genuine people I know. Um,
What's the sign?
Aries, but he's a
Okay.
cusp of Pisces. So I feel like that's what we really, really blended because my longest relationship was with a Pisces.
Mm,
Yeah,
okay.
yeah. So, but yeah, I feel like everybody, you have to meet that person that is created for your heart.
Absolutely.
Hmm.
Absolutely. And I'm glad I'm here and I'm
Yeah,
still like young enough and to enjoy it. Like the
yeah,
yeah, like it's a good I'm in a good space.
yeah. And it's good to be happy and full of joy. Because even if you
Oh,
have bad days, when it's right, that little bit of stuff like that infidelity we had, it wasn't big
girl.
enough for me to give up. Now she ain't doing it again, but it wasn't big enough for
Right.
me to be like, I'm gonna throw this towel in. Like,
Right.
no, let's
Right.
talk about it. Let's see if we can get through it.
Yep. You can't
Yeah.
like none of that can stone me anymore. Like, I know who I am. My
Hmm.
parents know who I am. My
Yep.
children know who I am.
Most
My
important.
friends know who I am. So,
Hmm.
no amount of fabrication of anything, whether you say something today, tomorrow, or last week, can equate to who I am.
Yeah.
And I'm not perfect,
Right.
and neither are they.
Right. Because we don't need to be.
No.
We just need to always be improving. That's it.
Yep.
We'll never be perfect, but we
No.
perfectly made. Okay.
That part.
That on that.
That on that.
Yeah. But this has been amazing. I appreciate you.
I appreciate you. I love you.
I love
Like,
you.
I
In
just
real
so
life.
in
In real life.
REAL
AL. Yeah.
real
Yeah.
life.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Yeah.
That's
Because
so
I don't have, I am definitely don't have the time to fake any connections. I just want genuine people that are striving and pushing because what you may know, I might need to know.
that's
What
right.
I know, you might need to know. And we should be able to grow in this world together. And you don't
That's
find
right.
that. I love that. That's the season. I want to be, I have for the last past 2 years, I wanted to be around people that I admire,
Yeah.
people that inspire me, people that are a true influence
Yeah.
because they're not nasty girls, they're not mean girls. They out here getting their money, they out here learning, they out here doing what they need to do to make sure their family is okay, and most importantly, making sure they're okay. They're not
That's
being
right.
controlled. Like you standing on your own 2 feet, and I have been gaining nothing but that,
Yes.
and you are a part of that. So I appreciate you.
I appreciate you back. So everyone that tuned in tonight, thank you so much for coming and listening to, I guess, us ramble, but also really, really, truly be transparent. Like
Right.
again, it for me, it took me to several years to get to this point where I'm able to feel brave and bold enough to even have these conversations, social media via social media.
Yeah.
I am definitely so vibrant in person and in real life outside of the camera and the phones and the devices. But, you know, I think it's important to share, conversations with people because you
Hmm.
just don't know who really needed just like 2 minutes of your words or just of your spirit of and it's good. It's a good feeling. So we do this all for the culture for sure.
All for the culture, because who
Oh,
else can do it for them?
that's it.
That's it. That is it. I was something I was ready to say. Before we go, um, it's I know I've seen it all the time, but it does not matter how anything starts off. It matters how you finish it. So even if you find yourself in a situation that may be frowned upon, close the outside noise. Sit
Yeah.
with yourself. Make sure you okay. And if you okay with it, nothing or no one else matters
Yeah.
at all whatsoever. We used to get so much backlash because of how me and Joy started our relationship, and it bothered me because it was people that I thought loved me, but No,
Yeah.
no. I'm happy with myself. This is the first relationship I have not cheated. When once we really got together, like when we were together. And that says a lot about where my heart is. Now, and it's not just because of joy, it's also because of the growth that
Yeah.
I knew nothing came from it.
Yes.
Nothing promising came from it. Everything hurt someone else. But it's also the fact that I'm able to live my truth and I'm not trying to figure out where I can find happiness anymore because I have it within myself. And there's nobody on God's green earth that can condemn me to nowhere because I don't believe in hell. That's first. And
That's right.
second of all, you can't condemn me to nowhere because you unless you're gonna condemn yourself too.
That's right.
Um, so live your long as you're living your truth and you're
Yes.
loving people. Do not let these people sit out here and tell you what a sin is. A sin is you doing things purposely to harm people,
That's
right?
right.
I believe that it connects with my spirit, connects with my heart. If I'm doing it with great intentions and someone does get hurt, okay, let's deal with it. But I'm not intentionally out here hurting anybody. You have to have your happiness. You deserve
Yes.
it.
Yes.
If you are not happy in whatever you're in, I don't care if it's a friendship, a job, a marriage, do not waste your years there
Yes.
because you only get one opportunity to do this thing. And as people always say, and use it for the reason of why you should always get along with people, you only get to live once. Don't use it for that. Use it that
Yeah.
you only get to live once to live it to the fullest. Because when you close your eyes, you might come back in reincarnation, possibly, but it won't be who you are today. So you will not be able
Yep.
to do this thing again.
Yep.
So if you didn't take anything from this conversation, take that you matter, your happiness matter, what you desire matters, you deserve whatever it is that you want to have. Dream it, write it, feel it, see it, make it happen.
That's it.
Yeah. And don't let money be the reason you stay.
Don't.
Ever.
Not at all. And even your pride. Some people stay with people, just because they want to like, or married. People get so tied into that word married and
Mm-mm.
forget like, that's a whole, like, you have to be happy. It has to be healthy. It has to
Mhm.
be, you working toward maintaining those things because
Mhm.
every day is not going to be, the same.
Yeah, it's
But
not.
yeah, absolutely.
And
Ab-
you and your spouse and you change every day.
Absolutely.
What I like today, I might not like tomorrow. Like today, I don't have no appetite. Tomorrow, I might be hungry. Like
Starving.
yeah.
Starving.
So hey, people change. Different. You have to have those conversations to make sure you're staying up to date. But don't ever let nobody make you feel like not the person. If you have to leave somebody, whether it's your church family, whether it's family, I don't care who the hell it is. I have anybody in my life can get cut off if you are causing me disruption. I mean, all the way
Yeah,
down to the kids I gave birth to. Okay.
that's it.
Don't let nobody ever put you in a place that they can't even put themselves. Because people will be quick. Like it's just like I hate when people be sitting there talking about the gays this, the gays that. What what are they doing? What do somebody else's lifestyle got to do with your life?
That's it.
What they eat ain't gonna make you shit. And if it do,
Yeah,
something is wrong. Them
yeah,
being poked one way and you poking another don't got nothing to do with nothing. Like live your life. It's yours. You're only getting
yeah.
one.
That's
You only
it.
live once. That's it.
That's it.
All right. Well, I can't wait till next time because I love being on screen with you. Okay.
Yes,
So just let me know when, or we can get together because I do. I love it. I absolutely love it, love it, love it.
yes.
I absolutely love you. And I'm so happy and proud for you because I know it's never easy doing
No,
something different and something that's
yes.
against the grain. But I'm proud of
It's
you.
the grain, but it feels good. Like it
Yeah.
really does. And like God forgives me. That's all that matters.
Mm-hmm.
So,
Because if not, you was gonna hurt, you was gonna continue to hurt. So you
girl,
not go ahead and not hurt, you know?
girl, and God
Okay.
does not like he's not an author of that. Like he's not author of confusion, but also he does not design marriage for you to be unhappy.
No.
People think that like but no.
That's
Mm-mm.
because Queen James said that to them people. The people don't even take the time to actually research and actually learn. Like the other day, I was in church. I went to my best friend's church, and it was a discrepancy in the scripture. And I
Well,
mean, he pulled it from King James.
mhm.
It's like, don't take the Bible so literal. Make it what you need it to be. but
True.
also do research because there's Bibles that's out here that's older than King James, and they're not books missing. Let's
True.
start there, right? That's a whole nother conversation though. But it's
True.
not books missing. It ain't telling you go to one place, and that place ain't even a King James Bible.
Yeah.
So don't make it so literal. Live
People
your
do
life and
that.
just go.
People
They,
really do that. It's like you missed the whole point.
the whole entire point.
Yes.
Just the whole purpose of
Medea
life.
think peace be still is her gun.
And it is because sometimes you might just need a piece of steel, okay?
That part.
But the
I got
main
that.
thing is just loving. Just that's what God is. God is love. If it's not love, it's not God.
It's not.
That's it. And if you can live off of that alone, that's it. You won. You rich. You got it. Yes, that's it.
Yeah.
Love. Welcome people. You know, don't I yeah. That's a whole other conversation. We'll be on here for another hour.
I know. So good night, everyone. Thank you for tuning in.
Good
Culture Club
night.
Combo. Make sure if you are viewing from Culture Club Combo, because we're streaming there, make sure you subscribe and like and comment. And do the
Yes.
same for the ladies of Cola.
Right. So if you're watching from let's chat with Cola. Let's talk that talk. Ain't that crazy? Let's talk that talk with Cola. Make sure you go and follow. Please, please, please.
Yeah.
Culture Club. You will not be disappointed because they definitely be having great topics as well. And they be talking about the horoscope. So if you're in the zodiac,
Oh yeah. You know,
mhm.
we
They
definitely
talk
want
about everything and it's for the culture. It's so that we can be, grow, heal, learn, share. So everybody can be great. So
to.
do the dang thing. All right, until next time. Love y'all.